Namaste. Swami Ashwirnar, your gate taking you for a tour through Ramayana has arrived. Now, we are entering into the next episode. We know that Rama and Lakshmana are taken by Vishwamitran. They are in a tour through the forest. He has taught them Bela and Adibela. That's a breathing technique that we saw it in the last video. Now, they are entering into a forest region. And what Sri Rama notices is that there is a sense of fear prevailing in this forest. Usually when we enter into a forest, we feel peace. But here, nothing is like that. It is not peaceful. There is a touch of horror in everything. And then he asked Vishwamitra, what's the problem? There's a sense of there's a sense of fear in everywhere, not only in the trees, but in the animals, in the birds and all that. As if everyone or everything, every living being or non-living being in that forest is afraid of someone. Then Vishwamitra smiled at him and said, yes, you will know what it is. Just wait a moment. After some time, Vishwamitra said, you just take your bow and make a noise with that bow. There's a string. You make a noise with that string. And Lakshmana and Rama, they took their bows, and Rama made a noise with his bowstring. Suddenly the whole scene changed. A very horrible looking woman entered from the forest. They had a fight, and Sri Rama killed that demoness. She is a demon, actually. That's the incident. Her name is Tadaga. Then, who is this Tadaga? Tadaga is the mother of Marichan. She lives in the Dandagavanam. Actually, that Vanam or forest was the land of a king, and the land is now, that country was ruled by the king, and the country was called Dandagavanam. Dandagapuram. It was a city, but now it has become a forest because of Tadaga. You know the meaning of the word Danda? Dandagam. The word tells you that this is something about discipline. More than discipline, a terror affecting our mind. When we become too much strict with people, strict with even ourselves, then the happiness fades. It was a very good city actually. But now Tadaka has entered. She is a demoness. And she drew all the rishis and munis away from that place. And now it has become a forest. A terror-filled forest. That's why it's called a Dandagavanam. Then Tadaga is killed by Rama. Let's see the meaning of that. See, the word Marichan, that's very easy to understand who this Marichan is. From it comes from the word Marichika, and Marichika means mirage. When you travel in a long stretched road, especially in the hot days, you see some water sometimes on the road. Actually, it's not water, but we feel like it. That's called Marichika. The travelers in the desert, they often see this. They will believe that there is water, but actually it's not what. So it is a mirage, or it is something, an illusion, something called an illusion. Marichika, the word means illusion. This illusion comes out of what? This illusion comes out of ego, my pride. Tadaga is a symbol of ahankara, the feeling that I am something great. And that is the first thing that you have to stop in your spiritual life. Controlling the ego is the most important thing in spiritual life. If you don't know how to control your ego, you can't go forward in spiritual life. That's sure. Every being develops that ego. The ego means I try to define myself getting attached to so many things. That's ego. We may say self-centric and all that, egocentric personalities and all that. Actually, whatever I identify with this in this world, it has no base, because it is going to end. My body, I identify with my body, but it has to end. My mind, it has to end. My relationships, my father, my brother, my sister, my wife, my children, all these relations, I identify. I say, I am son of so and so. I am the head of an ashram. That ashram is mine. And this room is my room. I have got a bank account. I have got a BMW car and whatever that is. You identify with so many things. I'm a minister. I'm a police inspector. I'm a doctor. I'm an engineer. These are identities. But these are all desultory fleetings. They won't exist after some time. All these things disappear. Well, my identity with the body, my identity with my intellect, my mind, my materials, my bank account, my fame, my power, if all these identities are temporary, why you struggle for this? That's a question that Sri Rama asked Lakshmana. What's the meaning of devoting your whole life for these things which are very volatile? They disappear in time. But I start this identification. Even when you come to spiritual life, this is a big problem. The biggest problem in spiritual life it is that I identify as a sannyasi. I identify that I am the head of an ashram. Or I come to a conclusion that I am a divine being with a special admission to heaven. Whatever I say is very important. And people have to respect me. If you don't respect me, I feel bad. So I'm a sannyasi, so you should not tell me a joke because I'm a sannyasi. I'm a sannyasi, so I should not sing a song. If I sing a song, then everything is lost. It's like that. So even if you're a businessman or a teacher or a doctor or a minister, whatever that is, you identify with so many things. Sometimes you identify with your religion, sometimes with your caste, sometimes with your position, everything. Your youthhood, your beauty, the flexibility of your body, the intellect, the sharp cutting, all these things you identify. And you believe that all these things are permanent. But all these things will end. Your body will one day become palsy stricken. You will become an old man. Your flexibility will be lost. Your sound will be lost. Your eyes will become blind. And there will come a time when you can't walk even. You have to lie on the bed. But then you feel this truth that all these things are temporary in this world. It's the same case in the life of a spiritualist. He starts identifying with God. Sometimes he will say that he is an avatara or a mahasiddha. So he will start addressing himself as Nam, Acharyan, like that. He will never say his name. He will always refer by the word Acharya or Nam, like that. Sometimes he will identify with the kavi that you wear. Sannyasis, they can't wear any other dress. If they wear any other dress, they will feel bad. So these are our identification. Actually, in spiritual path, you can't have any identity. Because all these things that you identify in this world are illusions. You have to identify with only one thing, your soul, which is a permanent. So, start cutting the identities. When you feel that you're so much proud of something, just think of it. Can it stand in time? Is it not an illusion? Suppose you fall in love with a woman and you believe that she loves you so much and all that. Just start thinking, can that love sustain for a long time? When your wife gives birth to children, that love goes to the children, isn't it? When you're a father working hard for your children, and when you are on the table, the breakfast table, the hot dosha comes to you because you are the king. Then you become old, you become retired, and the children are there, and they have to go to the office. Then the hot dosha goes to the son or the daughter. Then you are not that important. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. That's what Shankaracharya says. Neti, neti. Not this, not this. This is not the thing. So, Tadaka is the mother of illusion. It is because of my identification with this ahangara, with this aham, that I think that I'm a great person, a great king, a great minister, a great yogi, something above every human being. You have to kill it. You have to annihilate it from your mind. When we go to a temple for a puja, finally the priest comes out with a camphor, burning camphor. That's the ego. Burn that camphor. The camphor is something that disappears very fast. So, next time when you go to a temple and the priest comes out with the camphor, just concentrate on this and say, like this, all my identities will vanish. I'm not going to identify with any temporary things that I see in this world. My identification is with you, O Lord, the ultimate truth, my real nature, the existence of myself as a Jivatma. That's my identity. So, a sadhaka has to kill Tadaka and throw her away from the mind. Never start identifying with anything that is temporary. If at all you are forced to identify, you just know that it is all temporary things. They are not real and they are not going to stand. So, Tadaka is dead and they are moving forward, and let's see what happens next. Namaskar.